Hey Virgo, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name's TJ. It is April of 2023 and I have a love reading for you today. So, sit back, enjoy. I'm going to try to keep this pretty brief. I like doing that because I know we all have stuff we got to do during the day. Try to give you the most easy to process, concise answers that I can for the questions that I'm going to ask here today. That way, going into the problems, you have some forewarning, better than no warning at all. I love that phrase. It sums up everything, because I want you to have the best possible answer to what's going on. I really do. I want you to be able to walk into a situation with, a degree of confidence and have the right answers when the time comes for those answers, instead of just deer in the headlights. So what I do here is I'm going to draw two to represent your energy going into this issue, and then I'm going to draw two to represent, to signify, to for whoever this romantic interest energy is. And then I'm going to draw another two for your conjoined energy, the energy between the two of you, the energy of the issue, more or less. Why is this what we're feeling? So Virgo, what I'm going to do is go over what these mean, and then we'll get the overall picture, and then that'll be that. So, assuming I don't need to clarify anything. Two of Pentacles, balance in the physical world. This could be balance such as, Pentacles can represent anything from money down to our flesh and blood. We are physical beings in the physical world. We breathe, we eat, everything's here. So balance is that of you're okay with yourself, you have good health. It could be your bills are paid, balance. And then you have the Queen of Wands, which is creativity. It's ambition. Ambition is great, but you have to temper that ambition with realistic expectations, because people that are too ambitious, it's a real fine line between being ambitious and being cocky, being ignorant to things going on around you, being focused too much on something. It's ambition can turn into obsession really quickly if you're not careful. On their end of it is the Five of Swords, which is argument, which is disagreement, which is not seeing eye to eye. It's truths that don't align with each other. And then they have the Four of Wands, which is celebration of will. This is somebody who is confident. This can represent the type of emotions like at a wedding. This could actually represent a wedding depending on circumstance. But this is the will of celebration. This is the willpower of I have what I want. I'm starting to see where we potentially are going to have a conflict here. Now the energy between the two, the reason for this, the card I very rarely get, very rarely, which is the Six of Cups. Harmony. emotions in harmony. Harmony can be opening up, but harmony. And then you have this Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is grief and disappointment. It is emotional dissatisfaction. Something has happened, you're not happy about it, they're not happy about it. What we have here is a classic case of two people with two different outlooks on a situation. And that situation does not make either of you happy, and it's throwing off the harmony of your relationship. Consider it like this. This could be your exact example, but if a new bill comes up, a new drastically huge bill, or taxes come due and you end up owing a ton, you know, usually you get some back, but now you owe a whole bunch. Your idea is go get a loan, their idea is get a second job. Both of those do address the problem. The problem sucks, but those are two vastly different viewpoints on how to address that grief, how to address that disappointment. Two very, very different ways of going about it. And if those ways of going about it don't quite jive, such as get a loan versus extra work, then that really tears away at your harmony of the relationship. Because not only do you have a huge problem for both of you, now you're not even agreeing on how to solve that problem. And that's where you're at. You have ambition, you see that there's balance. This is the type of energy where you are going into it with a balanced mindset, but you also have, you've pulled the cord on the lawnmower. You're ready to go. You're ready to do something. You are moving forward. They, I don't think, understand the gravity of the situation yet. Or if they do, they're really showing it in weird ways. And the reason why I'm saying that is they're still in a celebratory, you know, they're still okay with kind of where things are. They're being defensive about it too. There's no reason to have an argument about something unless either they just want to pick a fight, which is very unlikely, or more likely, they are potentially denying the severity of it, maybe downplaying it. The issue may be partly because of them, and they don't want to admit that. So that's causing the arguments. There's a third party issue here. There's grief, there's disappointment that has affected you both. And that's tearing away at the harmony here between you two. They want to solve this problem one way, you want to solve this problem a different way, and they're fighting you on it. Sound about right? So, I'm going to do two questions. These are going to be pretty simple ones. And these are going to be the extreme outcomes, okay? Anywhere in between could be better or could be worse than either of these outcomes. And keep in mind that these are the most likely outcomes. So, what is the most likely outcome if we go Virgo's way? Just Virgo. Virgo solves the problem. What happens in the relationship? Like, how does that affect everything? Okay. What happens if Virgo's romantic interest has their way, only their way. What happens in this relationship? Fascinating. Very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. All right, so if things go 100% your way, you have the Empress. The Empress is abundance. It's the ability to receive and give love. She is the divine feminine energy, loving, caring. Things will be brought back into harmony. So you have loving and caring. You have things being brought back into harmony. And then you have your Six of Wands, which is, oh my goodness, which is victory. It's being a power couple. It's tackling things together. You bring them into line, then you will be a force that is very difficult to stop. Now for them, it's an interesting one too. A very interesting one too. And the King of Pentacles, which is wealth. If this is a money-related issue, their way of doing it will solve the problem. It will. And your way of doing it will obviously solve the problem too. But it's the aftermath of it is what I'm really concerned about. Then they have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is satisfaction. Emotional satisfaction. The problem will be solved. So now you can lay off of that. Then they have this Knight of Wands, which is fast action, very strong willpower. This one has me concerned. If you get your way and you include them, because your decision likely includes more so them, you wanting to solve this as a couple, solve this as a union, this being solved going more so with your methodology will result in better partnership, will result in getting that harmony back, and will result in more understanding, more abundance of love. You solving this problem is going to fix it, like Virgo, in the long run. It may take longer to do it because this isn't screaming wealth, but this is screaming union. This is screaming partnership. This is screaming you will succeed. You will. You will get your victory. If they win, if they get to lead the charge, it's more about results immediately. It's not about the us in the long run, because King of Pentacles is wealth, okay? So the wealth to solve the issue will be there. Either way it goes, you will solve this issue. And there will be satisfaction. Satisfaction, I mean, yeah, you're satisfied, but is there more to be had? The problem is satisfied. The debt is satisfied. It's okay. And then they have that Knight of Wands thrown in there, and that, like I said, this is the one that concerns me. My fear is that if this person fully gets their way, they will take a far more dominant role in the relationship. I hate throwing that controlling word out, but it could, in the long term, go in that direction. Because if they see that by themselves, they solved the problem by themselves, their own idea, not with your input. Like I said, this is the extreme. But if they see that they solved that problem without your input, who's not needed then? You. Virgo, you won't be needed to solve the problem. So what's going to happen later on is that person's going to start solving all the problems, for better or worse. They could have great ideas to solve a problem later. We never know. It's the future. It's an unknown future. But either way, your input will not be required. Your input will not be necessary. You will be relegated to the back seat and just watch them as they drive recklessly on a highway. So, knowing that they have that potential and knowing that they're already arguing about it, you really have to ask yourself, is this possible? Because you're the only you, Virgo. You're the only one with your exact problem with this exact person. You're the only one that knows how to deal with them, how to communicate with them in any way that makes sense. The problem will be solved, but it's the after effects that you need to keep in mind. More than likely, this is going to come down to meeting them somewhere in the middle. But you have to meet them somewhere. Because if you don't, then it's probably going to end more so in their favor. Because they're the ones that have the more aggressive mentality right now. You need to make them see your side of it. You cannot just lower your arms and let them take charge, because it's not going to lead anywhere good. It's not going to lead anywhere healthy. Personal opinion, personal advice, be aggressive back. Don't let them not hear your voice. Because, and I'm not saying purposely get in fights with them. You know, if they start getting obnoxious or something, you know, lay off, let them cool off. But don't pull out of the situation. Because the minute you start pulling out of the situation, they're going to fill in whatever that is you left. You're not leaving empty space. When you back off, they're going to fill that in. You're immediately going to lose ground. And at that point, you probably ain't going to get it back. So what you need to do is fight for your role in this relationship, specifically in this problem. If you show that you're a quitter now, they may take that as, well, you're going to be a quitter for good. Therefore, I'm going to take charge. I'm now going to lead this home, and nothing that the other person does is going to really matter. And I don't think that's what you want. And that's definitely not what you deserve. You deserve an equal partnership here. So battle for it. Like I said, don't get in fights. Don't pick a fight. If they start getting rowdy, just lay off. Because right now they are not in the mindset that, I think actually arguing with them might make it worse. It might validate how they feel. Virgo, you're clever. Use their idea, not against them, but use their idea to guide them into your camp. I know that sounds terrible. I know it almost sounds like manipulation, but the idea is to get them to see that you are helping to solve the problem. If you make them feel like their solution can be part of the actual solution that both of you use. You're building partnership and you're not swapping roles. Because what you also don't want to do, while yes, this will lead to the better outcome, what you don't want to do is force them to literally just swap this whole thing, where they're the ones with the great outcome and yours is you becoming, the person that you can't stand, if that makes sense. So you have to be very, very strategic with how you do this. But Virgo, you're smart. You know how to handle this with what you have. You have to do that. You have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for them. You have to do it for the us. Because without the us, then why are you even here? There's no relationship. So if you're going to make this problem work, if you're going to make this work for you. Make it work for you. Don't leave them behind, but don't let them leave you behind either. All right? So Virgo, I really, really, really do appreciate you sticking through the video, hearing what I have to say. It's quite a bit, so I apologize for a little bit longer of a video, but like I said, I want you to have the best possible answers to the situation as you can, because I really want this one for you. I really do. That power couple, that victory, that final outcome that is beneficial for you and them, because that's how strong relationships are supposed to work. You both win or you both lose. So, excuse me. With that said, thanks again. Aim for that, and I'll catch you next time.